Okay, so we're here with John Van Lagan from Joe's Carpentry up in Canada. It's still cold, I think. Is it?
Yeah, the snow was about 2 feet deep when we left, but it's been melting apparently since we.
Yeah, and we're here.
Been here.
We're here at IBS. It's obviously there's a lot going on here and a lot of new stuff changing, and we're getting some wisdom from other people's lessons because it's probably better in some ways to learn from other people's lessons, although I guess we always have to learn our own.
I've learned a lot from other people's lessons. I love listening to podcasts where people are telling their story and what they've learned. And
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to learn from someone else's lessons.
The story sits better than sometimes somebody putting you in a class and trying to teach you that.
Exactly. And I think that's what we really want to kind of go over today is, learning from your story about the lessons you've had and kind of where you see builders now and where they should really be focusing their time and what they shouldn't be doing. So I guess let's start with that first. Tell me about, I guess, when that first spark came for you to get into this business in the first place. What was it?
So I came in kind of in by default, but I grew up in it. I was not planning on actually getting into this business. But there was not very much work available in my trade that I actually went for, I started working, and it was just a temporary thing. My father to me, I was more of an assistant than actual hands-on carpenter, so he allowed me to go into the data part of it, the administration, building, and stuff like that, and I kind of enjoyed that. It started like 1 day a week, and eventually that grew more and more. My brother came in as the master carpenter, and once we were both in there, we decided to grow the company. And I looked after the book side of things, estimating, sales, and my brother did the actual hands-on work. But then we've grown, and we've now split into two companies, a cabinet company and a construction company.
And so there's that scale, going from, again, being an apprentice through to having three companies, multiple teams, and obviously now being a leader yourself. What would you say would be if you could look back and go, these are the three things you did right that made the biggest difference, three biggest lessons or things you did that made the biggest difference to you being able to do that and not burn out, not lose control?
So probably the three biggest lessons. First of all, I started as an assistant carpenter, and being on site gave me great knowledge to move on to the estimating and fortune from there. That's probably one of the biggest thing that I did at that time to get into it. Once I got into that, I realized there was so much stuff to learn, and I didn't know where to go. Probably my next thing after my brother and I took over the business, my dad retired. I've been searching for a while, but I actually ended up joining APB, coaching company, with them, and I should have done that years earlier. They have opened my eyes to a lot of things, helped me through a lot of my stuff, and I'm still learning from them today.
So I love talking about resources and standards because, and I feel like that's something that you've really tapped into over the years. Again, one of them being APB. So what are the resources I need to go from operator to owner that you are there? And one of them was coaching, right? And again, you wish you'd done it earlier, but that's one of those resources. What are the other, if you could pick two more things that were, whether it be resources or lessons that you wanted to have to overcome to be able to be where you are?
Basically, I had to realize that I was worth more money than I thought I was worth. So I had to realize that we could charge more than what I thought we could charge. Because people are looking at you as the expert, even though you think, well, I can't charge them. Don't be afraid to charge for what you do. Charge for your estimates and stuff like that. These are big lessons that I had to learn and I had to fight to overcome because I always thought everybody bought on price. Now I know that maybe 20% buy on price, the rest are on emotional decisions and what they want to do. They will pay for what they want. So that was a big lesson for me. I fought with that, right? So that helped me with my sales, becoming the expert in my field.
And you know what? People go, oh, help me with my sales. But guess what sales helps you with as well? Driving the value that you're worth. You can't give them the value if you don't have the funds and the money to give them the value that they're. So number one, understand that your cup isn't full. Learn, get a mentor, coach. Number two, value yourself.
Yeah.
And what would be the third lesson that you reckon that?
For a third, I would say that I think also knowing your numbers is really important. Knowing your numbers and not just your year-end reports. Keep on top of those things monthly and make sure you're doing your stuff properly.
That's right.
Also,
year-end reports, going in after the battle and counting the wounded.
that's a year
Autopsy.
and a half too late, basically, before you see it, right? So we got to do that. Know that right away, and also watch your marketing. See what's coming in that top end into the your funnel.
Know your numbers on the way out. Know your numbers on the way in.
Yes. So,
3. Again, these are not. Again, better if these builders can learn the lessons, these 3 lessons early, than down the track.
And make sure your marketing is targeted to your client, right? Because you can do tons of marketing and social media through Google, and you can get a lot of wasted leads. So you really got to start targeting, and that's a little challenge. I'm still working with that. I need assistance from my coach and people to help get that targeting.
Get your avatar.
Get your avatar figured out, and make sure you're targeting them, and that goes, and they see it, and they like it, and they
makes sense.
Come in your system.
Attract the clients you want and the clients you can deliver on. I mean, if you're valuing yourself,
you can learn to say no to people. Say sorry.
That's a good lesson.
Right? Learn to say no.
I do love the you're defined far more by what you say no to than what you say yes to. And so, because there's obviously resources, and there are things they're lessons that can be learnt once and then obviously maintained. Now let's talk about what standards, I guess, that you either hold for yourself or habits that you now believe that drive your ongoing success. So what are a few things that for you would be daily non-negotiables?
Well, I always say you need to show up, right? Get up and go. That's one of the biggest things is I get much more done in the morning. It's non-negotiable. I do my most work in the morning, not in the afternoon.
Yes.
I'm fresh. So that's non-negotiable.
So when your energy is, right? Know your energy, work it.
The other thing is meet daily with your team or whoever reports to you. I have certain people that report to me. I do cadence of a weekly meeting with half the team. And then we do a monthly with the whole team. As well, we do GSRs with my direct reports. So GSRs, goal setting reviews. So from their performance reviews.
A little bit different than my GSDs, which is get shit done. So goal setting reviews happens before. And how often do you do your goal setting?
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks you do a goal setting.
Yeah. So we go over I do it with 3 of my people that work for me because they report to me. They also do it with people below them.
Got it.
So stay on top, stay in communication with your reports, basically.
So consistency of doing the work when you've got the energy.
Yep.
That's one. Get up, show up, and do the work when you've got the energy. Don't delay it. Second one, have again consistency of that cadence with your team, daily huddles or meetings.
And I time block them, right? So put it in your calendar. Just set them up in your calendar. So you can't negotiate basically. Oh, I can't do it today, and a lot of guys, I've got no time. I got no time. I'm gonna do it. No, put it in your calendar, and no choice. You got to do it, unless there's a kind of an emergency situation.
But again, if you're setting that up like daily and weekly, then it's just.
So even here at IBS, I have a team meeting tomorrow morning with the leadership team, and it's an hour and a half. It starts at 9. It'll be done at 10:30 every time, and I'll do it via Zoom. And they're in the office.
Exactly. Which, again, it's a remote world. There's not. And again, all these builders, it doesn't matter. You're out on site, great. You got your phone, jump on, get it done. Jump in the ute.
Technology is there for us to do almost anything we want anymore.
Right? People are like, "Oh, where's your tape? Yours is in Nicaragua, right?" So there's no reason not to.
So our VA's in Guatemala.
I actually found out he's in Nicaragua, by the way. He was online yesterday, so just so you know, he's not in Guatemala. He's in Nicaragua. He says it's only a couple of countries away. It's okay. And again, I know that your talent loves working with your team because of some of the things you've even said, because of that cadence, because of how they work together, because of he can predict what's going to be happening and how he's going to be working. Hey, I wonder what the process is going to be for tomorrow, right? So you practice what you preach, that shows up.
Yep.
And what would you say is the third standard or habit that you've gotten into that you believe absolutely is necessary for you to?
Well, again, I guess standard for me is I have to put my calendar together. Time block your time.
Right, got it.
You got to make sure that you set aside time to do whatever your plan is. So very standard for me. In those times I do reports, whatever, but I got it all written in my calendar. So
Time block your time.
Don't miss it. So I time block it very just to.
What do they say?
And that helps me be a leader, which I'm fighting to become a leader in the company and the face of the company.
Yeah. What's the? It was like, don't prioritize your schedule your priorities.
Yes.
Sounds like that's
very important, because I was sometimes easily distracted.
Hey,
I think more people.
I think about 80% of my clients are either ADHD or should be. So again, it's something, and the world is built to distract us. So, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to do what you need to do to eliminate it. And so you've seen a lot of change. So how long have you been in the business
I've
now?
been in business for 35 years. We started at 3 employees, and now we're about 20 employees, plus a lot more sub-trades.
So you've seen a lot of change.
Yes.
But there's a lot of change happening now and coming.
Just with the way the world and the products out there that you can use to make things faster. For AI, it's integrated in so many different things, and some of the stuff that you can do is just amazing. I was over at the Beam booth this morning, and I basically I put a spec in by talking to it for a job that we are actually doing right now. I just pretended I had to price this job, and this thing priced it for me in 2 minutes, and it was in about 10% of my price, what I actually priced the client to. I got so close it got.
And yet we're hearing people. So I heard the other day, clients saying, "Yeah, I'm about." It was what did he say? It was 120 hours. It was, but somewhere between 60 and 120 hours per job of estimating time.
We probably put it. By the way, it's like the thing I seen this morning is more for budgeting. I would say I wouldn't use it as a fixed price,
but still,
we will put just to get that budget. We can probably put in 8 hours, right? How you get your scope. And
how's that for qualification, right? To know whether someone's in your wheelhouse and be able to move on, and like you said, say no.
Well, you can sit right with them basically, and as they're talking, you can type it in, and you can give them a budget before they stand up, and kind of a quick breakdown of where things are. It's like, okay,
it's a whole new world, isn't it?
It's a whole new world, and that's amazing.
So that sounds like, again, one thing is don't saying I'm old school, I still do it this way, whatever.
You can't can't not fight this. You can't work the old school way anymore.
Yeah.
If you want to grow, right? Be profitable and then grow, you have to take on new ideas.
So if we were going to leave builders here today, so someone who's earlier in the piece than where you're at now, they're starting to build those first, they're doing a few projects, they're starting to move, they've got a few team now, they're starting to want to move from operator to owner. I want to give them 2 things. One thing they can do now, as far as to create the move from operator to owner, to get that scalability over in 1 week, and one thing they can do to prep for the future. What would those 2 things be?
So one thing I would suggest is, first of all, as an owner, figure what you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you like doing, what you don't want to do. So then you can stop doing what you don't like doing, or you can delegate it to somebody else, stuff you do like, or you don't like to do, right? So that's probably the first thing I would say. Figure that out. The next thing from there is probably niche yourself. Make sure you're in a niche market so you can focus on a certain part of the market and don't spread yourself thin over different sectors. So if you want to be a whole home remodeler, focus on that. Don't become the small carpenter that's doing little things. Remodeling and do custom and spec homes does not work.
So they're nice and clean, right? Clarity over your avatar and clarity over what you actually love doing. In fact, one can lead to the other. If you know where you want to be spending that week and what you love doing,
and you know that direction, now you can start working. How can I do to get to there, and then make sure it's profitable, and then start to grow.
Perfect. Thanks so much for coming and joining us and sharing that wisdom. And everybody listening, just actually act. There's one thing to hear. Go away and do something. It'll take you a day to get to your avatar and start figuring out what you love to do. It might even take you an hour to know what you love to do. You already know, but list it down. Do it today, get into action, and it might not take even that long.
Yeah.
Especially with modern age, AI. They can skip the queue. Thanks so much for popping by. Really appreciate it. Love having you as a client. Yep. Looking forward to more.